Have you ever pondered the fate of all living things if they made the peculiar choice to dwell underground? Imagine the hustle and bustle of life above ground, the vibrant colors, the wind, the rain, the sun, all suddenly replaced by a quiet, dimly lit and cool subterranean existence. A drastic change, wouldn't you say? But why, one might ask, would any living thing make such a choice? Well, there are a multitude of reasons why life might opt for an underground existence. One of the most compelling is protection. Above ground, life is a constant game of survival. Predators lurk around every corner and the elements are relentless. Underground, however, there's a certain level of safety that's not available on the surface. The earth provides a natural shield against predators, and the weather, be it scorching sun or freezing snow, has little effect on those who reside in the depths. Another reason could be the availability of resources. The soil is teeming with nutrients and water, essential for the survival of many organisms. Instead of struggling for these necessities above ground, they could be readily available just a few feet below. But it's also essential to consider the fact that not all life is suited for an underground existence. Certain species thrive in the light, in the open air. They require the sun for photosynthesis, the wind for seed dispersal. These factors would need to be taken into account in our hypothetical scenario. In this journey, we're going to explore this radical shift in habitat. We'll consider the potential challenges that might arise, such as lack of sunlight, limited space, and the difficulties of navigation. But we'll also delve into the potential benefits, the protection, the resources, and perhaps even new opportunities for evolution and adaptation. So, let's delve deeper into this subterranean world and discover the potential challenges and benefits that await. Imagine for a moment the colossal shift that would occur as every living thing relocates to the underground. The migration process would be a monumental endeavor. The sheer mass of life on Earth is staggering, and moving it all beneath the surface would be a task of Herculean proportions. Creatures of the air, sea, and land would all need to find their way down, navigating a complex network of tunnels and caverns. Obstacles would be faced at every turn. The lack of sunlight would be a primary concern. Plants, the basis of most food chains, rely on photosynthesis, a process that requires sunlight. How would they survive? And in turn, how would the creatures that rely on them for sustenance survive? Then there's the issue of space. The Earth's surface is vast, but the underground is a different story. Sure, it extends deep, but usable space might be limited. Competition for resources would be fierce, and new hierarchies would need to be established. But life is resilient. Over time, organisms would adapt. Some creatures may develop heightened senses to navigate the dark, much like bats use echolocation. Others might evolve to become smaller, maximizing the available space. And plants, they might find a way to photosynthesize using alternative light sources, such as bioluminescence. And let's not forget about the human race. We would need to radically change how we live. Skyscrapers and sprawling cities would be replaced with compact, efficient dwellings. We'd likely develop new technologies to harness geothermal energy and perhaps even grow food using hydroponics and artificial light. The journey to the underground would be fraught with challenges, but it's not beyond the realm of possibility. After all, many species already thrive beneath the surface, from burrowing animals to deep-sea vent communities. But for the rest of life on Earth, the migration would be just the first step. The journey to the underground is just the beginning. The real challenge lies in adapting to the new environment. What would life be like in the darkness of the underground? That's the question we're asking today as we delve into the deep subterranean world. Imagine a world without sunlight, a place where day and night are mere concepts, and the glowing ball of fire we know as the sun is just a distant memory. Existence here would demand radical changes in lifestyle. Plants, for instance, would need to find a way to survive without photosynthesis, the process they rely on to convert sunlight into energy. The absence of light could spur the evolution of new, unimaginable species of flora that thrive in darkness, perhaps drawing energy from other sources, like the heat emanating from the Earth's core. Now let's think about the fauna. Animals would face a similar conundrum, having to adapt to life without sunlight. Many creatures rely on the sun for their internal clocks, a tool as vital as any for survival. Without the sun, animals might develop heightened senses to navigate the eternal darkness, such as improved hearing or touch. The lack of light could also lead to the evolution of bioluminescent creatures, illuminating the dark with their own bodies. Temperature and pressure would be other pivotal factors. The further down you go, the more the temperature and pressure increase. This could lead to the development of life forms capable of withstanding extreme conditions, possibly even thriving under such circumstances. Then there's the matter of space. The underground world is not as open and vast as the surface. The limited space could lead to more competition among species for resources, possibly driving faster evolution and adaptation. So, as we can see, life underground would be drastically different from the life we know. It's a world of eternal darkness, high pressure, and intense heat. It's a world where the usual rules of survival don't apply, and where the most adaptable thrive. Living in the dark, cold underground is a daunting prospect, but let's consider the potential benefits. It's a strange, unfamiliar world, but it could hold the key to understanding the incredible resilience and adaptability of life itself. Could there be any benefits to this drastic shift in habitat? Let's ponder on this thought for a moment. Imagine a world where all living beings reside beneath the surface of the Earth. It seems like a scene straight out of a science fiction novel, doesn't it? But if we pause to reflect, we might uncover a few unexpected advantages that come with this unconventional lifestyle. First among these is the prospect of protection. Living underground naturally shields us from a multitude of external threats. We're talking about everything from harsh weather conditions to celestial hazards like meteor strikes. It's like having a built-in fortress, always ready to guard us against the unpredictable elements of the external world. Then there's the constant temperature. Earth's surface can be a fickle place, with temperatures that fluctuate wildly from scorching heat waves to freezing blizzards. But underground, the temperature remains remarkably steady. This natural insulation can provide a consistent and comfortable living environment, free from the whims of surface weather. And let's not forget about potential resources. The subterranean world is rich with undiscovered treasures. This could range from untapped minerals to geothermal energy sources. The possibilities are as vast as the underground itself. But it's not just about material resources. Living underground could also lead to new forms of social organization, novel ways of communicating, and even entirely unique cultures. The underground could be a cradle of innovation, pushing the boundaries of our creativity and adaptability. However, it's crucial to remember that every silver lining has a cloud. In this case, the cloud is the unique set of challenges that come with living underground. From the lack of sunlight to the potential for claustrophobia, these challenges are not to be taken lightly. While the benefits are intriguing, they come with a unique set of challenges. What would be the potential challenges of this new underground existence? Let's dive right in. First off, we have the glaring issue of sunlight, or rather the lack thereof. Sunlight is the cornerstone of life as we know it. It drives photosynthesis, the process that plants use to convert sunlight into energy. Without it, the food chain would be disrupted at its very base. Animals, from tiny insects to gargantuan whales, rely on plants either directly as food or indirectly by feeding on plant-eating creatures. So a lack of sunlight would mean a significant reshuffling of the food chain, a challenge that would require a monumental evolutionary leap. Then there's the issue of limited space. The above-ground world is vast, providing ample room for all sorts of life to flourish. But underground? It's a different story. Space is at a premium, and competition for it would be fierce. Imagine the battles that would ensue for a cozy cavern or a nutrient-rich patch of soil. Food scarcity is another challenge that can't be overlooked. The underground world isn't exactly brimming with food sources, and even if some creatures adapt to feed on fungi or root systems, the competition for these limited resources would be intense. Lastly, we can't forget about the risk of cave-ins. The underground world is inherently unstable. The ground above is heavy, and without the proper support, it can come crashing down. living things would need to develop ways to predict and avoid these catastrophes. Overcoming these challenges would demand drastic changes in the way all living things function and survive. It would be a radical shift, an evolutionary game changer. But then again, life has a knack for adapting, for finding a way. So who's to say what's possible in this hypothetical underground existence? So, would life underground be a utopia or a dystopia? In the past few minutes, we've delved into the depths and intricacies of a world beneath our feet. We've considered the Great Migration, the unexpected benefits, and the very real challenges of an underground existence. We've learned that life underground could offer protection from harsh surface conditions, and may even give rise to unique adaptations and evolutionary paths. However, we've also discovered that this dark world could present significant obstacles to survival, including limited resources, a lack of sunlight, and the need for significant physiological changes. So, what's the final verdict? Well, it's a mixed bag. An underground existence could be both a sanctuary and a prison, a place of safety and a realm of profound challenge. While this scenario is purely hypothetical, it offers a fascinating glimpse into the resilience and adaptability of life on Earth.